So we've ran into an issue with the Supra here, and that was the reservoir. So the factory reservoir that comes with this master is a two-piece unit. So it has a small tank here, and then it runs into the larger reservoir. So I ended up getting a different reservoir. The beauty of the iBooster stuff is that the reservoirs themselves have the same footprint. Now the issue is that the tanks themselves are different sizes. So I found one here, if you look, that actually fits perfect, right? It sits perfect. The brake level sensor is built into it. It's pretty simple, cut and dry. But here's the problem. The problem that it is hitting this little metal support piece in the back here, and it's really weird because even the factory reservoir doesn't do anything with this, so I'm not even sure why this is here. But it's literally needs to be shaved about a millimeter, and this should clear. Now, it obviously has this bolt here to retain it all, but it is the same size. So what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of grind this down. We're going to cover this. We'll grind it down if we can. Maybe we'll cut it. I'm not really too sure, but it just needs a little bit, like maybe a millimeter to get it to clear. And then once that clears, we have a easy peasy brake reservoir solution here. All right, so some good news and some bad news. Good news is I was able to shave the booster down. So you can see that there used to be like a whole little brace or whatever this is, right? So I cut that down and I'm able to get the master seated on it, but we've ran into another problem and I don't know if you guys can tell me what it is. Let me give you a hint. All right, you guys figured it out yet? That's right, the hood will not shut with this reservoir on it. It's just too damn tall. So that was a waste of time and money, I think. So, all right, we finally found a suitable reservoir that looks like it'll work. It's still a little bit tall, like a little bit tall, but I think it's gonna be fine. We shut the hood and it was like it didn't touch anything on the skeleton. We put a bunch of grease on this and we shut the hood and it shut just fine. It's just a little bit on the tall side. Just for reference though, this is a 2015 to 2018 Audi A3 reservoir, and you can see that it's kind of at an angle, but it's totally filled up right now. So you guys can see the fluid there. Now, we did have to make a couple changes, right? First things first, we had to bend the lines just a hair to get it to clear, just a little bit. The biggest thing is on this connector here, which is the ECU connector that sits right in here. Hopefully you guys can see that. But we had to modify it by cutting a small section of it out for it to clear. Now, let's talk about the wiring for a second. This is pretty well documented. This is a Gen 1 iBooster, and in terms of wiring, you use most of this right here. So there's this large bundle, and this is well documented. These two wires are CAN bus here. We're not going to use those. I'm going to leave them though, just in case down the line that we, can integrate CAN bus one day. But essentially, it's pretty cut and dry here. These smaller wires here, these four right here, are the pedal sensor, and the pedal sensor is this guy back here. Then we've literally got battery power, battery ground, and key on power. That's it. So I was in the middle of wiring this all up. The problem is that when I was removing all of this, I dropped the pedal connector, and then when I went to go grab it, it slipped out of my hand and got wedged, and I can't find it now. So unfortunately, we have a slight pause on this before I can move forward. So we need to have the pedal sensor. All right, so here is the iBooster harness ready to go. This is the pedal position sensor, and here's the actual for the ECU. And just so you can see everything here that's required, so we've got 12-volt ignition, two constant key-ons, and a singular ground. So let's go ahead and attach this here and let's start running some wire. Okay, so we've got the Supra connected here, and you guys may or may not recall, but I had to modify the connector tabs to clear the brake booster situation, or the reservoir here. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to ground the wire here to the chassis, and then these three wires right here is one's two of them are battery constant and one is key on power. But what I'm going to do for now is I'm just going to strip all these and we're going to tap it to the fuse box right here. The thing is that on the Supras, there's not an easy way of getting key on power. So I'm going to have to figure out how to get this wire, this key on wire into the inside of the cabin. But for now, I'm just going to wire it up to test it. All right, so I've got it wired up here, kind of. Just got the ground here. All the pertinent power wires are all tied together here. We're going to hit it to power, and you're going to hear some rattling. So I don't know if you guys heard that, so I'm going to do it again so you guys can just listen. Okay, so that's the sound of the ibooster basically powered on. So here's the next thing here that is going to be a little weird. So when you have a car with ABS, when ABS actuates, it starts to give you like a it gives you like a pulsing. And I'm going to see if we can show that pulse to you here. So I'm going to hit down on the pedal. And I don't know if you guys can see my hand shaking, but it's definitely shaking. But like I said, right before this position here, the brakes are fully locked. So there's only like a little bit of play that's required to get the braking to stop. And I think, in my opinion too, is that this positioning is relatively normal to a normal car. So the only time that you'd ever actually be in this zone is like when you're hard nailing on it, and then the what you get out of it feels just like ABS shuttering. Okay, so after playing with a lot of different rod positions here, we still get the shuttering. We've tried all sorts of different things to see if the shuttering would go away, but it doesn't. So right now things are not looking good for the ibooster. There is one thing that we thought about as well. So here's one thing that we know from testing. What we do know from testing is that when you apply the brake before the shuttering stops, the brakes are good. So there's some type of limiter somehow, whether it's built into the fulcrum or the pedal on the CRV side, I don't really know. The thing is that I am not okay with putting a stop on the pedal, because just in case you do need more pedal effort, it's just not going to work out. So there's a few things that we're going to try. I think what we're going to do is we're going to try to loosen the actual ibooster and then bring it further out away into the cabin to see if that makes any changes in terms of where the point of shuttering starts. So this is with the ibooster powered off, and we've got a good firm pedal here. And so let me go power it on. What happens is that when it powers on, it actually self-calibrates. So I'm going to leave the camera here. Let me figure out how to set this up really quick here, but I'm going to leave the camera here so you guys can see the pedal move when I apply power to it. So on the Supra, we were thinking that when you press the pedal too far, it was actually activating some type of sensor error is what we were thinking about. But with the master cylinder off, we were able to finally get the master cylinder off the ibooster. If you press down all the way on it, it never shutters. Go ahead, Andrew. And as you can see, the nipple or the pin is all the way out for the ibooster and never once does it shutter. Go ahead and press it in and hold it. And so there's no shuttering on it, and we're not too sure why. I don't understand why, if it is in fact a sensor error, why it's not having a problem right now, even though the sensor has gone far beyond what it could. Now, I've tried to push against this while Andrew was stepping on the pedal, but his legs are stronger than my arms, unfortunately. So I wasn't able to really fully resist it. And again, it doesn't really seem to be doing anything. So I'm not really sure why this is happening. The next step is we're going to reinstall the brake master, and then let's just see if it does anything. Okay, so we've done some more testing and we figured out it's actually a force issue. So if you step on this pedal all the way out without the master, it doesn't do anything. So what we ended up doing was we grabbed a socket and extension. I stuck it over here and I wedged it against the strut tower nut right here. And then when you press on the brake pedal, it's same deal. It gets to a certain force and then it starts to vibrate.
So the only thing that we can do at this point, because I don't know how we could limit the amount of force that it takes, we're just going to adjust this rod outwards to see if it does anything, if it makes any real difference. I don't think so. I don't have a lot of faith in it, but it couldn't hurt to try. The biggest reason why I don't really have a ton of faith on this is because that this master and this booster is all from the factory. There was no changes in here. So I don't think this is the cause for it, but it couldn't hurt to try. All right, so this is the factory plug. I harvested the CAN bus wiring. I know it's CAN bus because the wires are twisted. And what I'm going to try to do is simulate. I'm going to add 120 ohm resistors here to close the circuit, and maybe that's going to fix our problem. I'm not going to hold my breath, but at this point we've tried adjusting the rod, and that virtually made no change. So the last thing I can do now is just try this, and if this fails, then the only thing that I can do is go to a different brake booster. Okay, so this is the plug that came with our booster. I've harvested the CAN bus wiring. I know it's CAN bus wiring just because that the wires are twisted. And so I've got some 120 ohm resistors here. We're gonna wire those in, plug it all in, and see if we can fool the CAN bus and see if our buzzing goes away. I don't have high hopes for it, but if it works, it works. Again. All right, let's see. Nope, didn't fix the problem. So having the CAN bus faked anyways doesn't change anything. So we've still got the shuttering. So I guess at this point we've exhausted every option that I could potentially think of. And now going to a different eye booster is probably just gonna be the way it goes.